In this video, we are going to walk through how to create and run an Autocrat job. We have already set up our spreadsheet that is connected to a Google form, and we have set up our template. Our Google form collects student reflections on their personal and academic goals, and so we want to send them this Google Doc here with their information that they have submitted to keep track of their progress. So we have that template all set up with the tags that match our headers for our spreadsheet. So now we can go to Extensions and Autocrat and then click Launch. So this will bring up a pop-up here for Autocrat. And we don't have any jobs yet, so we'll need to click New Job in the lower right corner. And then it will bring up some options. So it generates a new job, and we can give this job a name. You can run multiple jobs per spreadsheet. So we are going to give this a name, Autocrat example, and then we'll go through all of the options. So there's going to be a series of selections that we'll need to make. So first up, we'll need to set our template. So you'll need to create your template first in your Google Drive. And so we've already done that. If you need to check out how to create a template, you can check out that video tutorial. And so we're going to search for our Autocrat template in our drive and then bring that up. So we'll click on that when it comes up in our results here and select. And then we can click Next. Once that is selected there at the top, you'll see Autocrat template. And now that maps our tags that we have set in our template with our column headers. And so you'll want to go through and make sure that all of your tags are matched to your headers. And you'll see that this is set for standard because all of our tags are text. If you have any links or images, you'll want to change that on that left option. But right now, we want to go through and make sure that all of these mapped correctly. So that means that all of the text is identical to the text in our spreadsheet. If any of them are slightly off, you'll notice it will notify you with a red notification, and you can adjust as needed in your template and try again, or you can tell it what column to map to. So now we can click Next, and we need to tell Autocrat where to put these files and what to name them. So we are going to give this a file name, and you can use tags for this. So we are going to insert the tag for the student last name and first name. So each file will have the student's name in the title. And then you can choose if you would like the file type to be Google Doc or a PDF. That was up to you, whatever you prefer. So that is an option down at the bottom. And then there's a different output that you can choose. If you want them to be a single document or a single PDF, you can choose single output mode. The classic option is it creates a separate document per job. So over on the left, you'll notice there's that blue tab. That's really helpful because you can copy and paste your different tags to make sure that you get them correct, which is very important. You want to make sure that your tags are exactly identical to those in your spreadsheet to make sure that they map correctly. So here's where we are selecting the exact folder location in our Google Drive where we want all of these files to be located when they are created. We can set a merge condition if needed. So this would be a column where a specific value potentially is not empty, so you'd put not null, or if you wanted it to only run if there was a yes or a no in a column. So you can add a specific condition to run the job only if that is present in that column. So that is an option here. We don't have that condition in this template, so we're going to skip this step, but you can add those additional merge conditions. If you only want the job to run if someone has answered yes in a column, you can add that here by clicking Add Condition and setting that option up. So we're going to click Next, and then you can choose if you would like to share the document in an email, or if you just want it to be created And again, you can clip to copy to clipboard on the left, which again helps a lot as you are creating your job to make sure that you get those tags throughout these different steps. So we are going to set this up to share as an email automatically. So Autocrat will send these emails automatically as an attachment. You can choose how to send the attachment as an editable doc or a PDF. You can use tags in the to column. So you can have a list of emails, or if there is a column in your spreadsheet for email address, you can include that here as a tag. And then you can add in tags in the body or subject line of your email. Again, using that click to copy to clipboard option on the left with the blue arrow section is really helpful to make sure that those are all accurate. So we can send these goal progress reports to students and parents if we had their email addresses in a column. So we do have student email addresses in a column, so I can use that and send this automatically to students according to their submission for this Google form. So we can fill out that email, and this will send automatically as soon as they submit the form, which we are going to set up as the trigger in the next section. You can also set a time trigger, so it would go out every 24 hours. So those are your options. And so we can type in our email here, again, choose how to share those docs, and this goes out automatically. You can either have it send according to email addresses in your spreadsheet, or you can type in specific email addresses that you would like to send it to every time. Once you have that typed in, you can click next and move on. You can always save a job partway through by clicking on the save option, and you can come back in and edit it later. So here are the triggers. Like I mentioned, you can have it run as a form trigger. So every time the form is submitted, the job will run and it will send that email automatically. It will create the attachment, the template, or you can run it on a time trigger. So every 24 hours, you can set the time for when your Autocrat job will run. And this is the final step for creating your Autocrat job. So you can click save, and it will complete your job, save all of your steps, and take you back to the main dashboard of the pop-up. There is now a play button, an edit button, a preview button, and a trash. If you want to run the job manually, you can click that play button. If you need to edit, the pencil button, or trash with the trash. So here we are filling out the Google form so that we can use that form trigger to run the job. So over here on the right, you'll see there's a lot of extra columns that are added. This is done automatically by Autocrat to process the job. And you'll see over here on the right, there are links to open up those completed Google Docs automatically. So you'll have access in your spreadsheet to all of those. You'll also have access in your Google Drive in whatever folder you wanted them to go to. And you'll notice here we have two different versions. One that was correct with the full student name in the title, and another one that had the tag still left. And that's because we didn't use that copy and paste option for the tags, and we typed it in. And unfortunately, we missed a colon after last name and first name. So it wasn't typed in exactly correct, and therefore it didn't map correctly to the header. And so it didn't pull the student name from the Google form responses. So that's an example of why it's important to make sure you double check that your tags are exactly the same as they are included in your spreadsheet. So you can always go back in and edit that in your job by opening up the extension and clicking on that pencil. And then you can manually run your job as needed with that play button, and you can preview it and then again trash it. And so those are how you can create and run an Autocrat job using the Autocrat add-on for Google Sheets.